Welcome to Ultimate Skincare and Beauty Report. I'm Mary Winkenwerder. Salon owners, how is your salon performing? Can you honestly say that your chairs are full daily? Is your business performing the way you had fantasized about when you dreamed about opening a salon? This episode, we meet with Veronica Woods, the author of A-List Salon, to share details about the book and why she wrote it. Veronica, thanks so much for joining us on Ultimate Skincare and Beauty Report.
Thanks for having me, Mary. I'm excited to talk about my book.
It's great to have you here, and the book.
That's right.
All right. Veronica, can you tell us some about yourself up to the time you wrote the A-List Salon?
So my journey in the beauty industry started a little non-traditionally. I, like many MBAs, took the corporate route out of business school, and I worked in new product development and planning. And I got really thrust into entrepreneurship really based on an experience I had with my salon and my favorite stylist of about 5 years. Mm-hmm. So she suddenly went out of business and left me to kind of go on a journey to kind of hop around and try out different salons. And I realized that, she didn't go out of business because she wasn't a good stylist or that she had a bad location. It was really that she had a lack of business savvy. And I really just started to think about, was there something I could do to kind of help people like me who love the salon experience match us up with people who had the high potential of delivering that kind of service at that kind of standard. And I did a couple of things as far as entrepreneurially. I had a directory website, and then I really kind of gravitated toward helping the salon owners improve their business game, for lack of a better sense, so that they can really delight their customers and really stay profitable. Because I really think it's a shame that people who could be so good at what they do, but can't continue to do it because they just don't have the business prowess.
Right. So what was the major inspiration behind writing the book?
The major inspiration, really, one of the things I was doing was one-on-one consulting. I was doing some training and in-person workshops. And as I explained kind of what good business principles are, as kind of what I learned from working in corporate, sometimes people didn't fully get it. And I wanted to find a way to talk about what they should be doing on a month-by-month basis in kind of terms that they would understand in terms of real-life practical examples, because everybody really kind of can benefit from stories. So what better way of showing stories of very successful people who had a very diverse kind of entry into the salon business, but all nonetheless, achieved, success in terms of dollars and cents, not necessarily being on TV, although some of the people I interviewed for the book were. And I really chose select stories about how they were actually implementing a lot of things that I discussed in my blogs and my workshops. And I think I was telling you earlier, I think seeing the examples along with the practical tips really helped crystallize it a little bit further for a lot of people.
After becoming familiar with the book, my attention was directed in two different directions. One direction was toward the professional and the other end was toward the consumer. Was this your intention when writing the A-List Salon?
Yes, it was definitely my intention and really kind of my niche in the industry. As a person, like you mentioned, I'm not a stylist by trade. Nobody wants me to cut or color their hair. But what I am is a passionate client. So I really came to want to help stylists, kind of altruistically, but really personally, really understanding what's going through the heads of the clients that are sitting in their seats. And so I intentionally interviewed a couple of focus groups of clients to ask their perspective of what makes a successful salon. And I kind of weave quotes and kind of anecdotes from those interviews in the book. And I kind of do that when I teach too. I like to kind of say, well, this is what your clients are thinking, or I'll show a video from a YouTube review of a client and say, like, now that's a client who's really loves their stylist. But yeah, I think it's important because if you talk to a group of stylists by themselves, they talk totally different than a group of clients by themselves. And for me, being kind of a layperson, it was really interesting to kind of hear what both groups say kind of independently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's something to be gained by kind of understanding the language of both as you're planning your business, especially as a salon owner.
So how is the book geared toward progressing a salon owner forward?
Well, the whole book, one of the key chapters is planning for success.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that a lot of salons don't do is they get caught up in the day-to-day fire drill.
Mm-hmm.
And also kind of, if they're also still behind the chair, just really disservicing the client that's in their chair. And what I hope that people get out of the book and seeing that success is possible, because another, I guess, benefit of the book is just highlighting that there are successful salons. There's kind of a culture of you kind of hang around, just like any entrepreneur. If you hang around people who aren't successful, then you think nobody's successful.
Right.
So when you see enough examples of it, and they're not like on TV, they're doing regular customers, that happen to appreciate going to a salon, they have something to aspire to. And, I asked people about, some people may have had a big formal business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Others, like Nick Rojo, famous for what not to wear, legend in the industry. He just has a 5-year plan on a 1-page piece of paper. And I wanted to kind of convey that, whatever you land, as long as you're thinking about your future that you want to get out of your business, you're in the right path.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. So for the salon owner who wants to take their business to an all-time high, where is the most important place to start?
I really think the most important place to start is with your vision about what you want to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And that maybe you want to open up a franchise, or you want to just have one successful salon, and how you want to do it. And I would say this is also true if you're still a stylist and you're aspiring to be a salon owner. I think it's true to have a vision and stick to it. A lot of times I'll speak to the salon owners. They may have a vision, but once they get started and they hire staff, they may have staff that might be challenging what their vision is and kind of want to do it their way. And because they kind of get in this mode where they're desperate to get money in to pay the bills, they let their rules lag, and then their vision kind of gets shaped by whoever's working there.
Right.
And then they kind of set themselves up not to reach the pinnacle that they ultimately could do. And if you're a stylist, if you go to work in a salon that isn't run properly, but you just kind of do it because it's a job and there's a place to do what you love, you're not going to be able to acquire the clientele you want, learn the skills that you need to kind of, when you need to take your business to your own spot. So I think it's really good if you're really clear about what kind of business you want to run for yourself, and then really stick to it.
That's fantastic. So where can we purchase a copy of The A-List Salon?
Well, the book is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a lot of online retailers, and my website. The website is thealistsalonbook.com. And on the website, if you buy the book from my website, you can get an autographed version of the book, mm-hmm. and that lovely bookmark that you pointed out.
Yes, I love the bookmark. Love it. I can't live without it.
Yeah. So, and also a couple of bonus items. The book, besides just having tips in the book, I reference a number of sample documents, worksheets, mm-hmm. in order for you to really use it kind of as a planning tool, whether you have a salon now, you're aspiring to have a salon, and really if you have a service business. I mean, it's interesting. There was a attorney who bought my book, and I was like, oh, wow. He was like, oh, I can relate to it. I'm like, yeah, that's interesting that, it's not really about hair. But what I chose to do is to highlight successful entrepreneurs who happen to be salon owners.
Right.
So it's really about business.
Absolutely. I think it's brilliant. So where can we catch up with you and the book online?
Well, I am very active on Twitter.
Yes.
My Twitter handle is at My Salon Scoop. I also have a second, that's my Twitter handle where I talk more about the beauty industry. Then I have a second one at V Woods on Hair, and I talk a little bit more about startups and product development and broader marketing topics. And those are the best way to reach me on social media. And I'd be happy if someone had a question following up from this interview, you can reach me by email. I don't know if you're going to give that out.
If you are open to email, absolutely, I will.
Sure. Yeah, and my website, I forgot that, is bookyourchairsolid.com.
Wonderful. All right, Veronica, thanks so much for joining us on the show. It's been lovely speaking with you.
Thank you for having me, Mary. I enjoyed it.
Wonderful. Catch up with me on my blog, www.beautyreport.com, and on Twitter at BeautyPublicist, BeauTE Publicist. Everyone, thanks so much for joining us on Ultimate Skincare and Beauty Report. Have a beautiful and successful week. Mwah.